You know what? It's close enough to 4. I can just go. Made the mistake of deciding to just sit in front of Streamlabs as counted down. Anyway, hello. Hello. I need to reposition my model a bit. So I don't know how to paste a debut, but I'll give it a couple more minutes of just like me and chat. I also need to keep repositioning my phone because it keeps slipping. I appreciate the number of OOs in chat. There is a third one. There's an uwu. God, why won't my phone fucking stay in play? There's a 4th OO. But I have a slideshow, and that's like gonna be most of the debut. But I'm waiting a bit longer to go through with that. Now chat's just blowing up with Owo and Uwu. I appreciate it. Okay, this should be good. I don't even know how to pronounce the one that Unknown Ceilings just posted. And that's Iwi Owu. This is the like platonic ideal of what online video chat should be like. Just a constant stream of OO and Uwu. Also, if you notice me looking off to the side, that's because that's how I look at chat. I have 2 monitors, and chat is on one of them, and slides are on the other, and my phone is in the middle. So, it's 4 now. Gonna let's see. Yeah, okay. Slides, stuff. Awakawa under the bridge. I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. Hey, fuck. Okay, so I have a slideshow, and I'm just gonna run through it. Just here is stuff about me. My name is Ran Nehelenia, and that's also my name in Japanese, if you care, spelled in katakana. My age is a secret. I'm not gonna tell you my age. I'm not particularly old, and I'm not particularly young, but I mean, I want to keep my age to myself. For species, I am a Viperfish, but not just any Viperfish. I am a Viperfish mermaid, which you can kind of see right there. You can see my tail, and also my human parts, because I am, mermaid. That's how mermaids usually work. I do have legs, but those aren't in my model, because frankly legs suck. Why would I... Yeah, tail is cute. Why would I want legs if I can just have a tail? And for gender, I'm girl. Might not sound like it, but I'm girl. And then my birthday is November 30th. Those two are just kind of boring because it's like, yeah, that's facts. And then I know English. Obviously, that's what I'm speaking. And then I know some Japanese. And if you can read Japanese, you know from what I wrote, I'm not good at Japanese. I can, say some stuff. I can say some stuff, but it's like I can't even say full sentences. That's the point I'm at. Girl sounds happening. Yeah, that's what's going on here. So yeah, that's, the stuff there. This is the one that gives me a lot to talk about. I like a lot of things, so I decided to, a lot of VTuber, like, I watched a bunch of other VTuber, debuts to get, like, a sense of what I should include. And it was just like, yeah, the likes are, something worth including. Get you to know me by just, like, explaining the stuff I like. And I like a lot of things. I have pretty diverse interests, so I wanted to include, a lot of things. So, like, from anime, Bakemonogatari is my favorite anime. So, that's just, like, something I really love, and, definitely my favorite anime. And then, Evangelion, is, like, I mean, these are all favorites, so I don't want to say, like, oh yeah, that's my favorite, but, like, Evangelion's really good. Best Monogatari girl is Sodachi. That's why I dye my hair, gray. Yeah, with Evangelion, it's just, like, I watched it at a really important time in my life. Like a lot of people, when I was really depressed and young. And, it left an impression. Precure is just good because, magical girls fighting evil is a good concept. And it doesn't matter if it's, made for children. Any audiences can appreciate it. And I wish that more people would watch Precure. I mean, up until now, like, recently, it has been hard to get into because, you either need to live in Japan and speak Japanese or pirate it. But it's on Crunchyroll now. Go watch Precure. There's no bad place to start with Precure. Just go watch Precure. And then, Revolutionary Girl in, Ikuhara is, Kuniko Ikuhara is one of my favorite directors. Which Precure is the best? Hugto. I really love the characters and the story it tells. And also, it's pretty gay. It's pretty gay. But yeah, Utena, Ikuhara is... I've seen Symphogear. I have seen Symphogear. We don't talk about Hugto's ending. We do not talk about Hugto's ending. Yeah, you should definitely get into Precure. Like, I have seen some Heartcatch. I still haven't finished it, despite starting it, like, years ago. But, Heartcatch is very good. Like, it gets all the praise, and I wish other series would get, some of that praise. But Heartcatch gets the praise it deserves. Utena. Utena is cool because it's gay, and also very, very, very heavily, like, symbolic and esoteric and weird. It's just, like, it's a show that you can watch a ton of times and spend years thinking on and still be like, oh, there is this stuff that means this thing. It's a show with infinite depth, and that really speaks to, like, Ikuhara's, like, writing and directing. Also is gay. And, Seki no Kuni, like, I'm a big proponent of, I'm a fan of, like, weird, symbolic, esoteric stuff. should check out Una. It's really great. It's Ikuhara's best series, IMO, because it's like it's the only time that he gets like all of Ikuhara's anime have a ton of ideas in them, and Una is really the only time that it feels like he had time to explore them all and establish them all. So it's like Utna is a very complete work symbolically, but then you go and watch something like Yuriku Madarashi, and it's like, I can tell what's going on here. I can like pick up on like very distinct and memorable themes, and like you had a very clear vision here. But you had 12 episodes when you probably needed 30, like 36 or something. So that's why Yuna is my favorite. Aseki no Kuni is like, it's something that I've grown to love more, and I have like manga listed a bit later down this, but I could have included that in the manga section too, because I really love both. But I love both for different reasons, which is why the anime got in and not the manga. Like, the story that the anime tells is great. Yeah, I just, like, Aseki no Kuni is a gorgeous anime and a gorgeous manga. And people give CGI a lot of shit, and I'm a huge proponent of CGI. Like, people give CGI too much shit. It deserves, like, more recognition, for what it is. Yeah, the anime is just gorgeous. It's one of the best looking anime I have ever seen. And it would not have been that way if they had tried to make it a 2D anime. I have not seen Anohana. That's from the same author as Wandering Sun, though, I believe. Yeah, CGI is good and people have no taste. People look at, like, all the bad of CGI and assume that it's all like that. But it's not. CGI can be really good. Bakemonogatari is very good. I love it a lot. So then, going down for games, I'm a streamer, so I'm going to be playing games, so this section is especially relevant. I really like Fire Emblem. Clarify which KNK you're talking about, because there are many KNK anime. But yeah, and I agree with Wixnator. CGI can be done well and it can be done poorly, and like it gets used in anime a lot, and just like splash it in, like, oh, we need a car, let's just throw in a CGI car instead of animating it traditionally. And that's bad, but when you get works that are done like properly and fully using CGI, that have like the care and attention put into them that 2D anime get into their art, you do get something great. And the problem is that it doesn't often get that enough. I don't know that question. For who's out. What do you mean, Alexander? Yeah, if you're using CGI to save costs, it's like, that's a bad sign. Because CGI is like, it needs the care and attention put into it that traditional animation does. You know, all animation is an art. You can't rush it. Like, often we will see, like, what happens when you rush, like, traditional animation. You know, it looks bad. People will make fun of it. But then there's the assumption that you can either spend less time on CGI and it will look good, or you can not spend time on it, and, like, just throw it in and it'll look terrible, and that's, like, what all CGI is like. But that's not the case, and I wish more people would recognize that. Anyway, I tried to start talking about Fire Emblem and then chat distracted me. I really love Fire Emblem because I really love turn-based games. You'll see this in a bit. The first game I'll be playing on stream is going to be a Fire Emblem game. I really like just making the choices. It feels like... Oh, Kyokai no Kanata? I haven't seen that. Yeah, turn-based games are great. I love being able to, like, think through my actions. I don't want to, like, have to rush things. That's why I don't like action games. And with Fire Emblem, it's like there are so many complex pieces in play that you need to, like, think through, not just on one turn, but be thinking forward. And it's like, it's a very tough puzzle, and the way that the games, like, treat difficulty as, like, characters die and then they're dead, I really like that. I'm not much one for, air quotes, difficult games, as far as, like, Dark Souls, but, I don't, like, Fire Emblem is my kind of, like, hard game where you need to put in a lot of thought, but you can take, you know, an hour per turn if you need to. I have played Three Houses. I have hot takes on it. Yeah, okay, that might be. Hearing Wigzinator as Alexander could have happened. But yes, I have played Three Houses. Three Houses is, I don't know, it's not my least favorite game in the series. I would put it, like, as far as Fire Emblem games that came out in the 10s go, it's above Fates, below Awakening. The problem is that 10's Fire Emblem games aren't exactly what I like out of Fire Emblem. I thought, yeah, like, if I thought Three Houses was fine. I played a route. I enjoyed it. I don't really want to play it again, at least anytime soon. But it's a fine game. The other like big video game thing I love is Dragon Quest. I've been a Dragon Quest fan for most of my life at this point, and it's just like it's similar to Fire Emblem. I just love turn-based games, and Dragon Quest is a lot easier, and it's a lot more like casual, because instead of having to make all these complex choices, you have, like, with all these different characters, you have 4 characters, they're fighting, you know, X amount of enemies. But that still has its own complexity, and it still has its own fun. And also, I'm the kind of person who likes grinding. Like, a lot of people don't like Dragon Quest games because they have so much grinding in them. And I get that, but I like grinding, you know. I'll spend, you know, 3 hours trying to get a single item that I need for, like, a crafting recipe or to drop something, like a weapon or something. I have not played any Shin Megami Tensei games or Persona. But I've considered checking out, like, Shin Megami Tensei before. It seems neat. I'm queer, so I won't like Persona, but like, it is on my, like, checklist at some point. I have, like, actually, like, a spreadsheet of, like, games I want to play on stream, and I believe I have at least a few of the Shin Megami Tensei games on there. Yeah, okay. I figured as much. And then third on that list, Danganronpa. If you've been tuning into the streams that have been happening on this channel, you would have already seen that. There are gonna be some things I play blind on here. It's just like, I don't know what all they'll be. Like, the first stuff I'm gonna be doing is playing a game I haven't played before, and then playing its sequel, which I have played before, so that's, like, kinda blind. But for other games, I might play them blind. Depends on the game, I think. But yeah, for Danganronpa, it's like, we've already been playing it on stream, so I've said a lot there, like, probably at least 10 or 12 hours of that already. So just go watch those streams. Except that the first two were deleted because they had like information that I didn't want online due to like stream fuck-ups. Best Danganronpa character, Yoko. You might be noticing that I have an inclination for characters with twin tails. Twin tails are good. So, fourth on the list is when I started having issues because I don't actually play many video games. So it's just like, oh fuck, what do I include? And I ended up with Minecraft. Minecraft is very good. Pale twin-tailed characters with trauma. Ouch. But yeah, God, how do I follow that up? Minecraft, it's a good game. I have a lot of hours in Minecraft over the years, as I imagine a lot of people do. As far as Minecraft goes, I much prefer. Yeah, like, I'm gonna be playing a lot more games on stream going forward than I have been playing since high school ended. Like, in high school I had gamer friends, so I just kind of, like, got pulled into gamer groups at the time. But since then I haven't really played many games. It's like, I can probably count on one hand the number of games I've completed since then. But I'm, like, looking forward to being able to play more games for this. That's going to be happening on stream. Yeah, Minecraft. I probably won't be playing Minecraft on stream because I play on Switch. And I play on Switch because there's a problem with my computer that makes Minecraft crash every time I try to boot it up. And I fucking had to replace the hard drive at one point for, like, an unrelated issue. And this problem persisted through that. So I'm just going to assume that whatever is going on with Minecraft on my computer is very cursed. Probably some ancient magic. I will leave it alone. And then the last thing on here is not a video game. But this isn't the video games section, it's the games section. Magic the Gathering. If you have followed me on Twitter, you would have seen me talking about this. I talk about Magic a lot because I really like Magic. It's a really fun game. I don't get, seems like it's blocking you. I don't get what that means. Yeah, I really like Magic for, like, the same reasons that I like Fire Emblem. It's a very complex game with a lot of moving pieces that requires you to think forward a lot. But it's a very different nature. It being one-on-one, or not one-on-one, but, like, player versus player gives it a different vibe. See, the bear deck already exists in Magic. So you can already build a Mono Kuma deck. Yes, IKEA Handgun is one way to play Magic, and that's really fun. But there's also just, like, so many other ways to play. I prefer aggro. In Modern, I play, fittingly, I play Fish, which is the Merfolk deck. There is no black-white bears deck in Magic, because bears are green. Yeah, like, Magic is something that I could talk at length about, and I considered streaming it. I have, like, I made a new Miko account under this name. Yes, Goblin decks are the best. I play Goblins in Modern too, along with Fish. I don't have much experience with Final Fantasy, because it's just, like, I was always a Dragon Quest kid. I mean, I definitely came, like, after, like, all the big Fire Emblem game, or, Final Fantasy games, because, like, stuff like, 7 was in, like, the 90s or whatever. Yeah, aggro is good because you can get lunch during matches. Back when, Friday Night Magic could happen, I would show up and, play 3 rounds, go get dinner. I do play D&D, kind of, like, D&D is something I have interest in playing. I don't play it a lot for lack of a play group. I do, I have an idea for a D&D collab stream, but I will talk about that later, because that's actually on a different slide. And yeah, Final Fantasy looks cool. And I do want to, get into Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is on that list of games I mentioned. So that'll probably happen on stream at some point. But I had a Game Boy version of the first 2 or 3 games that I played some of, but never got far in, just because, old RPGs have aged poorly. I'll get to those at some point in my life, but I'm not rushing to get to the, really old ones. Also, yeah, not wanting to play Magic, because it's expensive is fair. There are, free programs that you can use to play Magic. But you can't use those, in paper. I will be playing the old school games, the ones with turn-based combat. Yeah, that's fair. If you don't want to use thinking power, just play aggro. Throw lightning bolts at the opponent's face until they die or you die. That's always a valid strat. Gonna give Chad a sec to catch up this time before trying to move on to something else, so nothing comes up if it interrupts me. But anyway, movies. I really like movies. And movies are going to be a part of what I do on this channel, and I'll get to more of that later. But for movies I like, I have a pretentious music taste, or movie taste, because there's a House, which it's a delightful movie. I don't even know where to begin with it. That it's just it's a very it's horror comedy, but horror comedy done so well, and it just has so many nice touches. It's a very campy movie, and yeah, these are not all very popular movies. I mean, Knives Out and Spider-Verse were, but and Parasite won an award. Yeah, Spider-Man is the most normal thing on here. Yeah, House breaks the boundaries of both horror and comedy. I could talk a lot about why I love House so much, and I could probably break it down scene by scene of why I love it so much, because it's just an incredible movie. But Sorry to Bother You also is just an incredible movie. It's a comedy, and you should watch it very quickly before it stops being a comedy and just becomes depressing. It's a movie about capitalism and why capitalism sucks. And capitalism is trying to catch up to Sorry to Bother You. Capitalism looked at Sorry to Bother You and thought, yes, let's do this. And that's depressing. That's very depressing. But it's a good movie. Boots Riley did a really good job with it. Even before going into it, I was a fan of Boots Riley's music with The Coup. Yeah, going into Sorry to Bother You blind is fucking wild. Just because everything happens in that movie. So much. And then, Parasite is, similar to Sorry to Bother You, in that they're both very anti-capitalist movies. But, Parasite is a lot more, grounded in reality. It's the shit that capitalists and rich people actually do, as opposed to Sorry to Bother You, which is, for the moment, science fiction. And I mean, I watched Parasite before it was cool by like a month, because, oh, you're not too late, I'm still going over stuff. Yes, there is a theme in what I am talking about, and it is that capitalism sucks. I'm not gonna spoil Sorry to Bother You. I'm just saying, it's fucking wild, and it is quickly approaching a documentary status. Yeah, Parasite is good, and I watched it like a month before the Oscars, so I get hipster cred for saying I liked it before it was cool. Yeah, more like capitalism. Yes, I am very much an anti-capitalist fish. Anyway, from those to another movie which is critical of capitalism, Sorry to Bother You. Or not, sorry, Knives Out. Knives Out is a lot more, like, straightforwardly, like, it's less, like, direct in its themes, but those themes are still there. And those themes are that, I mean, this is gonna be a bit hypocritical because I am white. White people suck. The theme of Knives Out is that white people suck. And I'd like to think that I'm not the kind of person that the rich people in that movie are, for several reasons. But it's just, white people suck. It's also just a really good and compelling mystery that I really like. You can, see later down, I really like mysteries. And Knives Out is just, like, a great, yeah, no, it's not hypocritical, it's true. Yeah. It's a great mystery, and it's, like, a great, like, political work of art. Yeah, Knives Out and Parasite scratch a similar itch. And then, Spider-Verse is, definitely, like, it's not just, like, the most popular thing on here by a lot, but it's also, like, it is, not a movie about how capitalism sucks. At least directly. But I do really like it. Like, we were talking about CGI with Hoseki no Kuni, and, it's similar, that it's, like, a fantastically done, CGI movie, and it just, like, the story is great, too, and it's, a gorgeously, put together, piece of work that, like, watching it in the theater was an incredible experience. And yeah, it's a gorgeous movie. It's just, incredible. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately not a lot of people saw Spider-Verse, but everyone who has seen Spider-Verse fucking loves it. Yeah, it is possible for studios to put out, like, experimental stuff, and they should do that more. But capitalism doesn't like that. Hey, I headed back into capitalism! Anyway, Ponyo. Moving on to the anime movies. Ponyo. I like it. It's fun. It's sweet. It's fun. It's innocent. It's, not particularly complicated or anything. It does have, like, a lot of the themes, that, Ghibli movies often do, but it's, it's good. It's my favorite Ghibli movie. One sec while you drink water. Yes, Ponyo is also a fish. Um, so, Night is Short, Walk On Girl is my favorite Yuasa project. I didn't actually like Tatami Galaxy all that much, but Night is Short is just like an incredible experience because it's so energetic and so fun. It comes together really well in a way that I didn't feel like Tatami Galaxy did beyond its second to last episode. And I love the energy that Night is Short, Walk On Girl has, and I wish more movies could have that, but I understand that it's like Yuasa is a very rare, specific thing that most can't achieve. Promare is Promare is a gorgeous movie. It has some like fantastic CGI in it, actually. To continue that thread, it's also just like a fantastically animated movie in general, both 2D and 3D. And it's not a very subtle movie. It's also, Promare is gay. Those boys are gay for each other. But Promare is a very deeply political movie in ways that most anime isn't. Yes, Promare is good because the boys kiss. And I know, yeah, that's fair that it took you 3 watches to fully appreciate. It has a lot going on, so stuff can definitely miss you on the first couple times. I have seen it several times by now. And it's just like, every time it's like, there's more going on. There's a lot going on. Listen to Bluebird is something that I got to see Listen to Bluebird 3 times in theaters. And then years later, I ended up watching Hibike Euphonium. And it's because of Listen to Bluebird that I ended up watching UFO. Because it's a good romance story. And it's a good story of like connections and disconnect and music. And it's also Naoko Yamada is a fantastic director, and that's her best work, without a doubt. I mean, okay, K-on's good, but Night is Short, Walk On Girl is better. Yes, Liz is very goated. It's just very good. That's unfortunate. It's like, I don't know, I like quiet and subtle things, which is why it's kind of ironic that it comes behind Promare. Yeah, Kensuke Yoshio, like, his score for that movie is, like, breathtaking. It is incredible. It's just, like, it's a gorgeous movie in every aspect for me, and it took a few watches to, like, become one of my favorite movies, but it definitely has reached that point by now. And Children of the Sea is probably, like, the most obscure thing that I have on here, given that it's also the most recent movie. But it's also here in place of End of Evangelion, because I have Eva in the anime section. Yeah, I have fangs. See? Yeah, Children of the Sea is here in place of Neon Genesis Evangelion because they're the same movie. But Children of the Sea has fish instead of world-ending monsters. And like, I am tempted to just show Children of the Sea on stream one night and just be like, here, watch this movie. You need to see it. Because it is an experience that you can only see. It's a gorgeous movie in every aspect, and the third act is, like, stunning. And I just, like, I love it, and most of the movies copyright strike is the issue, but that might be worth it. for getting to show that movie on stream. Yeah, my chair is squeaky. That's unfortunate. Anyway, manga. There are a lot of manga I like. Berserk is definitely like the longest manga that I have read. And I've been reading it since high school. And it's just like it's really good. The art is gorgeous, the characters are great, the story is great. The story is, the story can have problems at times, but I really like it. Pop Team Epic is just like my very specific kind of like surreal humor that I like really get into, like surreal bizarre stuff. And there's a lot of other manga that are like that, but I feel like Pop Team Epic does it the best. Main Abyss is one that like I got into Main Abyss through the anime, and then later got into the manga. Actually, I think I started the manga like 7 or 8 episodes into the anime, because I watched it airing, and I prefer the manga. Both are great, of course. Like, I'm not saying that like, oh, the manga is better. I think that, especially now that we have gotten the movie, because my favorite material from the manga was in the movie, so it's like we have overpassed that now. Yeah, I appreciate Pop Team Epic just being like fucking wild, like in the anime, but I prefer the manga. Yeah, Main Abyss is great. Look into the content warnings it has before you start. It can be a lot at times, but I really like it in spite of that. It's a good series. And it's very like, it's very inspirational to stuff that I haven't done before. Or stuff I haven't made before, rather. That, like, stuff I want to make. I want to make something that is, like, inspired by that world and those creatures and this place. And, Kasei-san. Kasei-san is gay. Like me. It's 2 girls in love. And one of them is an athlete and the other likes flowers. And it's, it's not trying to be anything, like, deep or heavily thoughtful. It's trying to be a fluffy gay romance. And I want that, we should have something like that. I like reading a lot of, can you stop spamming fish in other languages in my chat, please? Yeah, but, like, with Kasei-san, it just, like, fills a void that I don't get in other Yuri manga. And trust me, I read a lot of Yuri manga. But there's just not a lot that are, like, this kind of fluffy, like, innocent, nice stuff. And then, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is another one where, like, I got into it through the anime, and then ended up preferring the manga. And that would be the case until, parts 6 and 7 are adapted, because those are the best. But I just really like what Araki was going for in those arcs. I have tried, Fukaboku. I didn't like it. I just wasn't much a fan. Yeah, part 6 is fantastic. Part 7 is also fantastic. Like, it's no coincidence that the gayest JoJo parts are the best. Which is also why part 1 is good. I'm a part 1 defender. Yeah, but, like, I do not like Citrus. I watched, I think, 2 episodes and read a volume of it, and I brushed it off. It's not a kind of series I would like, and it's not, The reason I don't like it isn't because it's incest, it's because it's poorly written. It's just a bad series. Yeah, part 1 is very good. It deserves, like, a lot more than it gets, because as far as the series goes, it's a bit weird. Which, you know, it's a very weird series. But it's, like, the outlier. But I really like it. Like, it's a lot more low-key. And it's a lot more dated in its, like, in its aesthetics, in its, like, sense of writing and such. But I think that's, like, charming. Especially for something that got adapted in 2012. Yeah, the, part 1, like, evil and stuff, like, you can get interesting stuff out of that. Like, no question. So, music. I could talk a lot about music I like. And narrowing it down to 5 artists was kind of hard. So, this is what I ended up with. Yuki Kajiura has soundtracked to some of my favorite anime, such as, like, Madoka, or the Zadagoto OVA, or Princess Principal, or... I'm blanking on stuff, but, like, she has composed a lot of soundtracks to shows I love. And, I... Even, like, the soundtracks and stuff I haven't seen, like her SAO soundtracks, or Dot Hack, I, like, really love those. She's just a fantastic composer who does something that we don't get from any other composers in anime, and I really appreciate that of her. She is just, like, someone who's always making interesting music, but never stagnating. It never, like, if I go into a show with a Yuki Kajiura score, I can know that, I will be getting something interesting and unique out of it. Next up is, Yes. I'm a big prog fangirl. If you, saw that, little thread I did about, Mike Oldfield. Yeah, Yuki Kajiura did Madoka, too. She did a lot. I think SAO is how a lot of people get introduced to her. But yeah, I really love Yes because I really love prog. And I got into Yes because of JoJo. I'm not gonna, like, bullshit around that. Like, that's how I got into them, and then I just actually really liked them. Because I really like long, progressive songs, of that nature, that, like, close to the edge, or something. I do really like Pink Floyd. Like, Yes is kind of just representing, I like prog. I like late 60s, early 70s prog. Pink Floyd are also great. I especially like their first couple albums are incredible, and I mean they only missed a couple of times in their original run. Even up into the 90s, I really enjoy their stuff. Pink Floyd are a very good band. So yeah, I like prog. Boris, on the other hand, Boris are Caravan are cool. I haven't listened to a ton of their stuff, but I do like them, and I really like some of their contemporaries, too. I really like Camel. Yeah, Boris are great, because they're, like, representing metal. I listen to a lot of metal, and I don't really end up talking about it a lot, because there's a lot, of metal I do listen to. But Boris are, like, my favorite metal band, because they do a lot of different things. They do, like, drone metal. They do a lot of heavier and faster stuff. They do, like, noise rock. They do sludge metal. They do a lot of music, and I really enjoy that. Like, with their stuff, I can know that, like, they release a new album, and it's like, this will probably be something I haven't listened to before. Like, this will be something they haven't done before. Even in recent years when they have, like, begun to go back to older styles, like with, Love and Evil, where it's like, in their like drone metal style, it's still, you know, plenty unique. It's doing its own thing. And that's not to say of like stuff like No. Like, Boris are just a band who are constantly evolving and never stagnating. And I really appreciate that. That, yeah, I don't know. They're also just, like, very musically competent. They're a fantastic three-piece. But, after that, Owl City. So we have gone from, like, esoteric anime composer, 70s prog, heavy metal, electropop. But I've listened to Owl City my entire, or like most of my life. It was maybe like the first music that I like really loved myself, like as a thing that like I cared about, and then other people in my family didn't. And it's like Adam Young is a very good producer. He makes really good instrumentals, and he's a very good singer. And I really like his lyrics. Like, they're cheesy, but, like, sometimes I just want to listen to something, like, happy. And, like, Owl City definitely, like, scratches an itch for me that no other music really does. Like, it's okay to like pop. It's okay to like pop music. And Owl City is the pop music I love. And then, last on the list, The Mountain Goats. John Donrio fucking owns my soul. I absolutely adore The Mountain Goats. They definitely don't have a bad album except for that first one. The Mountain Goats are another band who keep, like, evolving and keep changing, and I really love that of them. I really like bands that don't stagnate. But especially, like, with the Mountain Goats, like, it's, you know, recognizable as Mountain Goats from those first cassette releases to, later stuff. But I really like how, like, they don't stagnate. They let themselves change, and they let themselves move, and it doesn't have to be the same thing every time. Do I like hip-hop? I do. I like it, like, less than rock or metal. But I definitely do have, hip-hop groups I like. Shout out Clipping. I really fucking love Clipping. But I listen to less hip-hop compared to other genres because, I am not a lyrics person. I don't really listen to lyrics unless it's, like, a special case. Like, for example, in the case of Owl City, where I have been listening to these songs for well over a decade at this point. Or in the case of the Mountain Goats, where it's, like, the lyrics can be more personal to me than what goes on in hip-hop. Like, hip-hop is good. I will listen to it. It's just not something I love as much as other stuff. Okay, and other random likes. There's horror movies. I really like horror movies, and I'm gonna be showing movies on my channel, and horror movies are gonna be a big part of that. So, because I really like horror, and a lot of the horror I watch is like 70s or earlier, and I do want to watch like older horror, which thankfully can be in public domain. I also like mystery stories, and that ties into the one below that. I really love Nisio Isin, because Nisio Isin's mysteries are like my favorites. For recommendations for horror. I don't know, I'm blanking on horror movies at the moment. Like, Night of the Living Dead is public domain. There is a lot of good and bad movies in the public domain that I can show on this channel, and I'll get more into that later. But yeah, like, horror isn't for everyone. But I talked about House earlier. House is a very good movie. It is on my list. Right. My mouse isn't showing up, but it's, you know, on the movies thing. House is one of my favorite movies. Yeah, it's right there. In addition to these movies, I also really love Clamp as like a creator or group of creators in this case. That like Clamp are just like very, very interesting storytellers and writers and artists. That like I really like Cardcaptor Sakura, and I have issues with the back half of the manga, but I like at its core I really like the series. I also really love Holic, and I have been reading Tsubasa Reservoir, but it's going slowly. And it's just I really like their style, and I need to read more of them, but I need to finish Tsubasa first. I also really like the studio's Shaft and Kyoani. I think that they are the best people in anime and have been for like 15 or 20 years. Yeah, I have seen Fireworks. I am one of the few people who likes Fireworks a lot. I think it's, you know, a whatever story, but it's a gorgeous movie. Absolutely incredible. And Kyoani have stuff like, they have a bunch of shows I love, like UFO, Liz, Dragon Maid, Chinibu. There's just like a lot that they have that's just like great. People like to meme on Chav, like losing a bunch of staff. They've been picking it up recently. Like they have hired new people, and Shinbo is still working as like the supervisor there. I don't know if I can say I'm hyped for Maid Dragon Season 2. I loved Season 1 enough that I went and read the manga. And I like the manga. But the manga tipped me off to the fact that Season 2 is going to start with the worst material the series ever has. And that's just kind of rough. I hope that Kyoani can handle it well. I hope that I can trust them to deal with it well. But it's... I don't see how they could do it well without a full rewrite of that arc. It's unfortunate, but I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful it can turn out well. Yeah, and then a few like other like random things at the end here. I really like fanfiction. I read a lot of it because fanfiction lets me get gay stories. And so I read a lot of fanfiction. I read a lot of fiction under a different name that I'll probably never mention on this, like anywhere around here, just because I separate my writing and VTubing. And yeah, that's fair that Kyoani might make those changes. I think if the director was still alive now, I would have a lot more faith in it. But the fact that they have to bring in a new director for this series makes me... It's depressing, and it's also worrying that I don't know how well this will go. I hope it'll go well. Anyway, moving on from that. Fanfic recommendations? That's a hard question. It depends what fandoms you're in. I'm really into Danganronpa and Arknights and Toho. So it depends, like, what you're into. I can give you some recommendations, maybe, but at me on Twitter later, and I can scroll through my AO3 history and fill your mentions with them. I also really like Lolita clothing. When I was like picking an outfit before I ended up with Sailor Fuku, I considered Lolita. And if I ever make enough money from VTubing to like get alternate model or like an upgraded model, there is definitely going to be a like Lolita alt outfit. And if you can draw, you should draw me in Lolita. That is definitely a thing you should do. That would be very cool, IMO. And the last thing on the likes list is I like collecting music. I have a big vinyl collection, a big CD collection. Ooh! That's... Yay! I really like it when people draw me. I like that. But, I really like collecting like music, so I have a big collection, and if I can figure out like logistically how to do a music like collection show off stream, I might do that, even if it's just like getting a webcam, pointing it at like the ground and just shoving vinyl under the camera and talking about it. I like that. That seems like something fun to do. Because also that means that I can then, like, justify having spent all this money on all this stuff. Anyway, there's some other music I like, by the way. And, goals. So what do I want to be doing as VTuber? There's stuff on here. So, a thing I want to do is weekly DJ mix streams. And for that, I want to be, like, introducing music to my audience. I want to be sharing the music I like with people and getting them into that. So I really hope that my DJ mix streams can, like, connect people to music that they might not have found otherwise. I'm going to be doing a series on just, like, my favorite artists. And, I have a bunch of ideas that are going to happen. So, I don't know. I hope people can find new music through me. I also want to show movies. Weekly movie streams are going to be a thing. For mostly public domain movies, but I do want to... There are other movies that aren't in the public domain that I want to show or watch with my audience. So, I hope that can be a thing. I have a list of, like, public domain horror and ocean-based movies to show, and that'll be fun. I also want to get better at Japanese. I don't know if that could be a thing I do on camera or much. I know some streamers like stream their Japanese practice, but I'm learning through the subculture method. That that's something that like a Twitter user came up with, of just like getting into learning another language by like immersing yourself in the language. And I've been doing that in a few different ways. For a fan nickname, that'll come up later. That's on this slide. I also want to work through my JRPG backlog. That's in a larger category. There is like, I want to play more games. I don't play games ever, so this will be an excuse to do that. And I want to collaborate. Collaboration seems fun. And the ideas that I have in mind are like, I have a like tabletop RPG campaign that I want to do with others. And I want that to happen, and I don't know if that will happen, but if I can get like 3 or 4 people to be the players for that campaign, that'll happen, and that'll be cool. So hopefully that can happen. I also want to play EDH. That's a Magic the Gathering format. I want to play Commander with people. And that's even less likely because I don't know how many VTuber fans of Magic there are. So, do I believe in fate? No. Who's a VTuber I want to collab with? Artemis. More realistically, it's just like my mutuals on Twitter. It would probably be with just other VTubers or like other streamers. And yeah, like start the trend I want to see. The problem is that like Commander is a multiplayer format, so I need other people to be playing it with. So I need at least like 2 or 3 people for that. But I can, I can make that work. I can maybe at some point get that going. I'll be pushing for that, both like in front of and behind the scenes. I also might do music streams because I'm a musician, and I can play guitar, but I should be better at it. So I might, if people want to listen to me make horrible noise with my guitar, that might be a thing that happens. I might practice singing. I mentioned it earlier, I'm not a fan of my voice, so I'm not really a big fan of singing, which is why there won't be a karaoke at the end of this, by the way. So, but maybe like streaming, singing practice on stream would be a thing to happen. And also just like making music in a DAW. That seems like the easiest thing to do on stream, just because like that's all happening in the computer, and you can just show the audience what's happening. So I might do one of those. I don't know. We will see. For like the loftier goals, for like the more long-term goals, 1K and 10K subs. I want to hit those milestones at some point. I don't expect that to happen soon, but I want to get there eventually, And I also want to make enough money from this that I get a full model, that I can like pay for a full model, because I'm not going to show you what this is a half model. And that would be nice to do, but I don't expect either of those to happen soon. Let's see. Oh yeah, and here's just what I do. I do BJ mixes with commentary, where I just like get a bunch of tracks along a theme and play them, and then talk over them for however long that mix is. I also just want to show movies, as I mentioned. So it's just like a few different themes of like sea monsters, exploring the ocean. There's a bunch of like nature documentaries I have in mind that would be cool to show. Plus like old sci-fi movies and horror, because I'm a big fan of that, like the old dated horror aesthetic. So yeah, okay. D&D VTuber is cool. Good on you for that. And then for games, I'm gonna be doing a lot of full game playthroughs with like JRPGs or tactical strategy games, along with just like other games. I don't really know how those are gonna go, but I have other games I want to play that have like caught my eye in some form or another that would be cool to stream. So and then here's just like places I'm at. The YouTube channel is just the one you're watching it now. On Twitter I am I'm Ran VTuber on Twitter. Ran Nehelenia on Letterboxd. That Letterboxd is currently unused, but that's where my like any reviews and ratings for things we watch on stream are gonna go. And for design things, Fudine on Twitter as Wingrush, she's my design mom. She's the one who took the ideas I had and put them into a physical form. And then Umai, on you can see her out on there. She took those the design that Fudine made and made it into the model that you see here. It's very cute. And then Alf, my rigging dad, went and took the model and gave it the cute expressions you see. And those are the people who went and made this possible. They're my VTuber parents. They're the reason that, I can look cute like this. And then for art tag, my art tag is Nehalenia Art. And I don't have a general tag or a fan name yet. So if people want to help, Wingrush she has like 5,000 followers on Twitter. I've followed her for years now, because of her Monogatari art. And then it's just like, well, if I want to become a VTuber, yeah, she was my first, I thought, that, like, I knew that, no idea what this was. I knew that, like, she would be easy to work with because she speaks English, so I knew that, like, I could talk to her about the design stuff. Yeah, she's well known in Monogatari circles because she's art. No, she is not. She is not getting mentioned on the news. Kind of famous. But yeah. So the art tag is Nehanania Art, and a general tag is to be decided. If anyone has ideas, let me know. The idea for, like, my fans is, I've gone through a few ideas that are all terrible. I asked a friend, and the suggestion I got was, "You fucks." Which I find funny, but seems a little rude. So I will not go with that. I had the idea for random, as in fandom, but for ran. Ooh, Viperlinks is cool. That could definitely work. I will keep that one in mind. Unless people definitely like that now. But, yeah, I don't know. I've always been bad at, coming up with names. So, shrug. And then, here is the design that, unfortunately, I think, I feel like Fishbait is already taken. If it isn't, then I'm absolutely taking it, actually. I'll have to look on Twitter for that later. But yeah, here is my design. No, that is... I don't know who you're thinking of, but that's not Wingrush. Here is the design. It's... I would gesture to it, but... I turned mouse off. Anyway, it's just kind of like... That's all of it. That's with legs, without legs, from behind, and with the mouth. There's other stuff to it, but this is the one I felt like showing off. Yeah, I'm cute. I'm very cute. Also, shout out to that little anglerfish guy. He's cool. Like, that's the thing that Foodie just added. Like, she every so often she would share whips, work in progress with me, and it's just like, one day that was there. That doesn't have a name yet. Haven't decided that yet. And yes, the tail is good. I prefer having a tail, but I can have legs if need be. And there's the bioluminescence going up and down the tail and the legs, and on my arms, and in my hair. You can see it as, like, the hair ties. And yeah, this is what I look like. This is my design. And then, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me now. I also put out, like, the call for questions on Kitty's Cat earlier. So I'm just gonna go check that. And I'm gonna try to find a way to put that on stream right now, actually. Okay, so Curious Cat, so okay, so first the questions from chat. I do have a schedule for streams. I'll be posting and explaining that right after this. Yes, I use Opera. Opera is actually I specifically use Opera for VTube stuff. Because I like to have all my accounts signed into one specific account. So I have like the VTube account or the VTube browser and the normal browser. For my normal browser, I'm even more like a fucking nerd. I use Vivaldi. And yes, my vision is incredibly bad. I am basically blind. I cannot see without these things. And how long have I wanted to be a VTuber? I've wanted to be a VTuber since Artemis first streamed, which actually isn't long. And the time between Artemis's first stream and when I was like, I'm actually gonna go become a VTuber now, was a bit, like a month or something. Vivaldi is a browser. It runs on Chromium. It has a bunch of cool, like, niche features that I like that make me prefer it over other browsers. Yeah, like, for me, it was just, like, watching Artemis was, like, the first time I was like, I could do this. I could be a VTuber. And then cut to sometime later, and I'm like, I should actually do this now. And then I started working on design and thinking about what I could do on stream. And then here I am. It's been a bit, a few months. And for the questions, which are already interesting, how do I feel about Tampa Bay? I've never been there. I don't have an opinion on Tampa. I have never been there. Can I add a donation bar? I don't know how to... My channel might not be monetized. I have no idea how to do this stuff. So I don't know if that's a thing I can do or not. No, I cannot do a British accent. British accent is not something I should try to do. But, do I like country music? I don't like country music, actually. Okay, I can set up donations through Streamlabs. I will set up the Streamlabs donation thing after the stream then. So to answer the question on screen, I don't like country music. Just because it's not especially appealing to me. Some of it's fine, just not my thing. Favorite Hawkwind album? I appreciate this one because it's niche. My favorite Hawkwind album is Space Ritual. With a second place for second and third places are, fuck, I'm forgetting the name now. Their self-titled debut and the one that had Lemmy on it. Those ones are both very good. Hawkwind are a great band. I never had a PlayStation as a kid, and I still don't have one. I have never played a PlayStation game. Yes. Am I gay? Yes, I am very gay. I'm a lesbian. I'm glad someone asked this, so I could just say it out loud here. Yes, I am gay. Oh well. Oh well, what's this? Yes, gay, homosexual. How was it to work with Wingrush when making my VTuber design? It was really good. She is definitely someone who I would work with again, and I have since commissioned her for other things. The fact that she speaks English makes it a lot easier because I don't speak much Japanese, so we could communicate and we could have a back and forth, and we could be like, hey, do this thing, and she could actually come back to me and ask for input on what I'm doing, and we could have a back and forth. Fudine was great to work with. Go check her out. Watch her, or commission from her rather. Yeah, her English has gotten very good because her English has gone good because she's talking to her English followers, and that gives her practice, and it's been nice to see. Speaking of someone who's been following her since before that was a thing, before that was something she did. It's been nice to see that progression. How does the power of so easily pissing off internet renters feel? I'm going to assume that this is about the fact that I got a bunch of people trying to ratio me over my anti-Hololive tweets. It feels very good. Stay mad. Stay fucking mad, losers. If people are gonna get pissed because I say I'm a communist, okay. I'm not gonna fucking bend to them. When I decided to become a VTuber, one thing that I promised to myself is that I wasn't going to warp who I am for this. And part of who I am is someone who posts late night communist rantings on Twitter. And I'm glad that I am living up to that now. It makes me glad to see people just so furious that I am like this. Because I'm not gonna change. Am I a Sonic fan? I am not a Sonic fan. I'm not a platformers fan. They're just not the kind of game I like. I've played some Sonic games. They're not my thing. I don't feel qualified to talk about them. Is it weird that every time you stream I get a craving for fish sticks? A little. Yes. Oh, Itchy. Hi. Yes. If you get a craving for fish sticks every time you watch me, please don't eat me. Eat other fish, but please don't eat me. I don't. I might tweet about vor sometimes. I'm not actually into vor. Please do not eat me. I don't want to be eaten. I already answered this one. Yes, I am gay. Thanks for asking. And what's my Hogwarts house? I'm trans, which means I don't like Harry Potter. Do I support Ryumiyu Memi? No, she doesn't deserve support. Yes, please do not vor the Viperfish. uh, fa- Favorite pizza topping? All black olives. Ryumu doesn't have rights. She's a deity. Ryumu is an idol from the franchise Idolmaster. She has big tits and is terrible. Yes, a dream would be collabing with Artemis, just because like Artemis is the reason I got into VTubing. I don't think that would be especially likely because I'm some rando with like 200 followers on Twitter, and she is like the biggest indie VTuber, English indie VTuber. But if that can happen someday, I would die happy. And that is it for questions. And then just one last thing. Stream's almost over, but fuck. For schedule. So the question of if I have a schedule came up earlier. I do. So Mondays are I play a game. Wednesdays are I show a movie. And Fridays are I do a DJ mix. Will I do more Curious Cat streams? Maybe. Depends if I get a lot of questions or not. This schedule will be posted on Twitter afterwards and pinned on my account. So if you don't like memorize it now, that's fine. But I'll be starting playing Fire Emblem Path to Radiance on Monday. I'll be watching the movie Attack of the Crab Monsters on Wednesday. There's gonna be a collab stream, Danganronpa collab stream with Mathwiz. Actually, we're gonna be doing one this Sunday, so I have it up as episode 7 there. It's actually gonna be episode 8 because we're doing one on Sunday too. But my schedule starts on Monday, so that didn't get fit in. And then on Friday it's gonna be a DJ stream for Bangers Only, which is just some of my favorite music that is all bangers, no misses. And then Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday, I won't be streaming. Because streaming every day of the week sounds exhausting. And shrug. I think that's it. So thanks for tuning in, people. This was better than expected. I'm glad I had so many people tuning in. This is a great time, and I hope that you'll tune into future streams. Yeah, okay, yeah. On the thing, I definitely knew I needed to include other time zones. But yeah, thanks. Bye.